First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your First Alert forecast. 19 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking news first at 4. A family waiting 7 long years wondering where their loved one could be. They just got crushing news. Thanks for joining us on 19 News Plus. I'm Nicole Versansky. Brian is off today. The woman's body was found in an abandoned home. Colton Molesky has been following this story all day. He joins us now live with the latest on the investigation.
Nicole, the first thing I did this morning was reach out to the family. I talked with Paige Coffey's aunt this morning, and she told me, as you can imagine, that the family is still wrestling with this news. But I wanted to show you right away as well. This home, this is right here on East 142nd Street. This is where police were called on April 17th. That's where some workers found a body right back there in that garage. This morning, medical examiners and the Bratton Hall police confirmed that that body is Paige Coffey. This is what the scene looked like back on April 17th. Investigators looking for evidence at a house neighbors say has been empty for years. The focus, obviously, the garage where Coffey was found. The medical examiner says her body was found inside a garbage bag. She disappeared back in May of 2019. Coffey was last seen on security camera footage in the Steelyard Commons. The FBI also working this case and says the investigation is ongoing, adding in a statement today, quote, "The passage of time does not diminish our pursuit of justice." And FBI Cleveland, along with law enforcement partners, remain unwavering in seeking justice for Paige. I spoke with her mother and aunt back in February. Her family still begging for anyone with information to come forward. Every year, a fresh reminder of her absence.
It's been hard with the holidays and birthdays, so it's been pretty difficult.
Now, there are still several unanswered questions. How did Paige Coffey end up here? How did she die? And is there a killer still out there? I've stayed in touch with the family and investigators, as well as Cleveland Missing, and as soon as I get any more information, I'll get it to you. In Cleveland, Colton Molesky, 19 News.
All right, Colton, thank you. And we will continue to reach out to investigators for more information. As soon as we get some new answers, we'll bring them to you here. Colton will be back live on 19 News everywhere at 5.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
Well, foggy skies are starting to settle in, especially right up by the lakeshore. So keep that in mind, especially with this north wind. It is going to blow some of that fog in. It's going to keep some drizzle around, I think, for a lot of us headed into this evening. So just be mindful of that. Elsewhere, we've had some showers across the area. Keep in mind that is slowly starting to clear off towards the east. But again, it may not be our only brush with rain as we head into tonight. Visibility at downtown down to 1.7 miles. We're down to a mile of visibility at Hopkins. So again, if you're right up by the lakeshore, keep that in mind. You still have that opportunity to see a little bit of that drizzle or fog or low visibility at times as you go through your evening commute time. So just want to kind of give you that first alert there. Most of this rain is starting to clear out very quickly. We're still watching out towards our west because additional showers will be possible headed into this evening. We'll talk about your hour by hour forecast and if it'll impact those evening plans coming up in just a bit.
A dog, a cigarette, items on a stove, all those things said to be behind 4 house fires in just 24 hours in one local city. Sadly, dozens of pets didn't make it out alive. First at 4, Brittany Weir joins us live outside one of those homes with a message from firefighters. Brittany.
Yes, Nicole, Lorraine firefighters responded to 4 separate fires all across the city in just one day. Now, thankfully, no people were hurt, but the loss inside this home was just heartbreaking. Over 25 pets died. It started Monday afternoon. A kitchen fire on Lorraine's near West Side. 2 adults and their dog thankfully made it out.
We got a report of a stove fire. Crews were able to make a quick knockdown. 2 adults and a dog were able to escape.
And the cause? The family dog.
Turns out that the fire started because of the dog was trying to get on top of the stove So it's just a great time to remind everyone, don't store anything in your oven or on your stovetop.
Later that night, a quick-thinking group of young men may have saved a home on the city's south side.
Young men realized that there was a fire. They actually sprinted down to the fire station, knocked on the door. Our guys answered. They said there was a fire down the street. We responded. We were able to contain the fire to the porch.
Investigators believe an improperly disposed cigarette sparked that blaze. Well, then just before midnight, a third call. Crews found hidden electrical fire in a basement. 2 people, an adult and a child, were displaced. The Red Cross and All Call Charities responded to help.
And when we go to fires, it's mostly people that can't afford to have fires, and to be able to help them like that, get back on their feet.
Then a 4th fire, and this one the most difficult.
We had a hard time fighting the fire. It was a stove fire, kitchen fire. It got so hot that it melted the solder in the ceiling of the water pipes. It actually acted as a sprinkler system and put the fire out.
But the relief was short-lived.
The bad news is there were 27 cats and a dog that perished in the fire from smoke inhalation.
Despite the devastating day, Lieutenant Weber says his crews never hesitated.
Guys want to help the community, and fighting fire is what we signed up for.
And we're told the Lorain County Building Department, the County Health Department, and the APL all assisted at this scene. Since that fire, we're told this home has been condemned. In Lorain County, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
We now have more men and women ready to protect and serve our city. Cleveland has 34 new police officers. The new recruits were sworn into the Cleveland Division of Police yesterday. Congratulations to all of them as they begin to patrol our streets.
Now your 19 First Alert traffic update.
You're taking a live look at 480 westbound where there's a broken down car blocking the left side over by Broadway Avenue. And this is halting rush hour traffic up for a few miles over on 480 westbound. So like I said, we had that broken down car that's blocking this far left lane. You have to move over to the right side. That is going to be slowing you down to speeds just 9 miles per hour in some places. So if you're about to be heading that way, your drive is going to be at least an extra 10 minutes longer than usual with those backups, not just by Lee Road, but almost all the way back to where 480 meets 271. That's not the only slow spot that I'm seeing in Northeast Ohio. I want to bring you back here to Portage County, where I'm seeing construction slowing down drivers on 76 eastbound, passing Route 44 to Route 14. So that's from Rootstown to Edinburgh. And then drivers continuing to be very slow on the brakes, not just past 225 over in the Palmyra area, but over the Portage County border into Mahoning County, over by Craig Beach by 534. So if you're about to be heading on this very long, more than 10-mile stretch of 76 eastbound, you'll only be going around 40-some miles per hour. While drivers who are heading west from the Craig Beach area, passing 534 towards Palmyra over at 225, seeing just 27 miles per hour.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth faced some tough questions from lawmakers today, 2 months into the war in Iran. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill on the House Armed Services Committee hearing.
I look forward to sharing the incredible successes of our military.
Testifying for the first time since the war in Iran began, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth clashed with lawmakers who questioned the strategy of Operation Epic Fury.
The president has got himself and America stuck in the quagmire of another war in the Middle East.
Don't say I support the troops on one hand and then a 2-month mission is a quagmire. That's a false equivalation. Who are you cheering for here?
The hearing comes as the Trump administration requests an historic $1.5 trillion in defense spending for 2027.
The president's budget request reflects the urgency of the moment.
Military families have never been more appreciated than today, and our enemies of dictators now understand peace through strength.
During the hearing, a senior Pentagon official testified the U.S. is spending around $25 billion on the war in Iran, mostly on munitions.
Democratic lawmakers raised questions about why the U.S. launched the operation following U.S. strikes last year on key nuclear sites in Iran.
You just said 60 days ago, because the nuclear weapon was an imminent threat. Now you're saying that it was completely
They
obliterated?
had not given up their nuclear ambitions, and they had a conventional shield of thousands of
So
missiles.
Operation Midnight
They're at the
Hammer
weakest
accomplished
moment.
nothing of substance. It
No, you're
left us
missing-
at
you're
exactly
missing
the
the
same
point.
place we were before. So
Their,
much so
their
that we had to
facilities
start
were
a
bombed
war.
and obliterated. Their ambitions continued.
Diplomatic efforts between the U.S. and Iran remain stalled, with the president posting this image on his social media saying no more Mr. Nice Guy and urging the regime to make a deal. Natalie Brand,
What our
CBS
troops have
News, Capitol
demonstrated to the
Hill.
world over the last 15 months.
All right, we're still dealing with some of those foggier conditions right up by the lakeshore, so do keep that in mind if you're headed downtown for the Cavs game later. These clouds are sitting about 200 feet, at least the base of them, so you're not going to have a lot of visibility, especially when you go a little bit farther in terms of distance that you're watching. So do, again, keep that in mind. Temperatures near the lakeshore much cooler. We've got that north wind really helping to secure temperatures right now, mid to upper 40s. If you're farther to the south, you've got some more mid 50s on the board, but again, I would bundle up and I would plan on there potentially being some mist, drizzle, maybe a couple isolated showers if you are going to be headed downtown for that Cavs game. Again, tip-off is at 7:30. Leading up to it, at best, we're sitting upper 40s. Again, not much of a change from where our temperature is now. But as you are headed home from the game, I will say temperatures will start to begin that drop, and I think most of us will be back into the mid-40s, eventually headed for the lower 40s as we wake up early tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is going to be a cooler day. At best, we're going to be upper 40s to about low 50s, so I guess you could say pretty similar to where we are at now. But we also have an opportunity for rain through the day tomorrow. I'll walk you through the new data coming up in your full forecast.
A new report was released today. It shows what experts are calling a troubling increase in deaths linked to domestic violence in Summit County. But really, this follows a statewide trend. 19 Data journalist Dan DeRose joining us now with these numbers.
Yeah, we're talking about domestic violence, and in many cases, in all of these cases, they turn deadly. But it's the fact that there had been a pattern there. And I asked an expert in domestic violence down in Summit County, is there a reason that we're seeing more deaths? They don't have a definitive reason, but they have a couple of ideas. First of all, we're looking at Summit County statistics here, 2020 through 2025. 2020 and 2021 and 2023, there was one death by the hands of domestic violence. 2022, there were actually two, the same with 2024. But look at last year in Summit County. 8 people died as a result of this. And it's not just women. There was an unborn child that was a part of this, 2 men. When you start looking at the cases from 2020 to 2022, that's what this is looking at. And there were 4 deaths, 2 men, 1 unborn child, and 1 woman. When it comes to race, ethnicity, 20% black, 40% white, 20% Hispanic, 20% unknown. This is kind of a sad statistic here. 50% of the victims had already been engaged with community-based services before their death, meaning they were trying to get help in some way, shape, or form before they died. Here is another sad statistic. 75% of the 4 victims, again, Summit County, 2022 to 2023, 75% of the cases, they had been previous victims of domestic violence. That's what they're seeing, is people, unfortunately, are going back to their abusive relationship because it's too hard to leave. Maybe it's money, maybe it's housing, or maybe it's something even more dangerous.
Sometimes it's really hard because that perpetrator has threatened to harm them severely if they leave. If you leave me, I'm going to kill you. If you leave, I'm going to kill the kids. I'm going to kill the dog. Those threats right there are very serious. So one of the things we tell survivors is to know that we are here for them, to contact our 24-hour hotline.
And according to Teresa with Hope and Healing, there are several 24-hour hotlines. There's a national one. There's the Ohio Domestic Violence Network. Go to Cleveland 19. If you are somebody in need of help, that first phone call, it is tough. They are going to help you. They're there 24 hours a day, and they're going to help you get through that system and get to a safe situation. Nicole.
All right, Dan, thank you. Important information. And we have this too. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, you are not alone. There is help. Call the Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. You can visit them on the web at hotline.org as well. Experts are available 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. 2 Florida deputies are being called heroes after rescuing a black bear cub. The deputies were patrolling a road in the Ocala National Forest when they came across this little guy. It looked like the cub had an injured front leg. Mom was nowhere in sight, so after rescuing the cub, now known as Grape, the deputies called wildlife officers. Grape is now at a rehabilitation center with hopes of being released back into the wild. Almost makes you wonder, did they feed him grapes? Did he like grapes? Why the name? All right, well, Japanese baggage handlers will soon be joined by robotic colleagues. Take a look. This is starting in May. Japan Airlines in Tokyo will begin a 2-year trial. Humanoid robots will help with jobs like baggage handling and cleaning aircraft cabins. Japan's airline industry currently faces challenges of an aging and shrinking workforce and higher workloads fed by a rise in tourists.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
The 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page joins us. She is tracking some of these on and off showers. It's so gloomy out there, but it's like it doesn't even know what it wants to do. Does it want to rain, be foggy?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of both. So that's what we're going to be watching here as we head into tonight. Live look from Edgewater Beach. You can certainly see a little bit of rain popping up. We've got some north winds. So we've, of course, got our surfers that are out in Lake Erie trying to take advantage of some of the choppier water that we have. But what you're bringing in with some of this cooler air that's been settling in, especially to our lakeshore, is technically a little bit more of that moisture. And it's going to be low level moisture in conjunction with a lot of the rain that we saw earlier today. And that's what's going to give you kind of that mist and that drizzle over the next, I would say, at least 12 hours or so. You'll notice the next big thing we're going to be watching, cooler temperatures. So it's not to say that you won't also have a few rain chances that accompany this cooler air, but this is really going to be, I think, what impacts pretty much all of us. The rain chances may be a bit more hit or miss, but keep in mind, if we do have a couple more organized showers because of not only the cooler air temperatures, but also colder temperatures a few thousand feet above us, we may get a couple areas of graupel trying to mix in as well. The rain from this morning clearing off towards the east, not as much of a concern for us, at least as of right now. But if you look to our northwest, you're seeing a couple of these batches of rain starting to rotate through places like Michigan. That will eventually enter our area as we head into the next not only few hours, but also be the source of some moisture for us headed into tomorrow. So evening plans, keep the rain gear with you. It's not going to be a washout in a lot of spots, but you will have some of these on and off showers that continue not only through tonight, but into the day tomorrow. And as temperatures heat up tomorrow, you may get a little bit of an uptick in some of these more widely scattered showers across the area. Could also see a little bit of sunshine by the afternoon, but temperatures at best upper 40s to lower 50s. We'll talk about when those temperatures will recover coming up in the next half hour.
Coming up today on the Watchdog, the cost of gas and groceries is really getting out of control. On our Consumer Protection Show, we have ways to save up to $1.50 a gallon on gas and things you can do to fight food inflation. The Watchdog streams today at 6:30 on 19 News Plus. Now to your top 4 at 4. Remains found outside a home in a garage in a garbage bag on Cleveland's east side. They've been identified as Paige Coffey. She disappeared back in May of 2019. Police were called to this home back on April 17th. The neighbors say it's been empty for years. Some workers, as we said, found the remains in a garbage bag. This morning, the medical examiner and Bracknell police said they are of Paige Coffey. A Cuyahoga County corrections officer is facing felony charges. Police arrested Cheyenne McClutchin last week. She's accused of bringing drugs into the Lorain County Correctional Institute. It stems from an incident last November. She has been placed on unpaid administrative leave. Her arraignment is set for tomorrow morning. The Browns will officially break ground on the new Huntington Bank Stadium in Brook Park tomorrow. Owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam will be joined by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and Governor Mike DeWine. It's at 5 o'clock. That ceremony is in Brook Park. Panel discussions will follow. They'll cover fan experience and economic impact. 19 News will take you there live. Fire at the Medina County Central Processing Facility on Lake Road. You can see the smoke coming from the building yesterday. It started in a large pile of trash. The building had a sprinkler system which kept those flames from growing. No injuries were reported. Westfield Fire says the likely cause was the improper disposal of a lithium-ion battery. Breaking at this hour, the Avon Fire Department accepted the resignation of an employee who recently was arrested as part of a federal investigation. He was previously on paid administrative leave. Timothy McGoldrick is accused of having child pornography. He was charged after the FBI searched his home in Medina Township. Also breaking, FBI and IRS agents raided 2 restaurants in Northwest Indiana. They were also at the owner's home with the Indiana State Police. An FBI spokesperson confirmed the FBI is conducting a multi-agency operation with court-authorized law enforcement activity at multiple locations in northern Indiana and other states. The FBI said there's no threat to the public, but no further details were available. A father and a boyfriend killed in a hit and run. The driver is still on the loose. Now the family says they feel neglected and ignored in their quest for justice. Catherine Huntley has the story, first at 4.
He didn't deserve this at all. And then I just feel like he was failed from every angle.
Marvis Alexander and her daughter Malia are coping with a tragic loss. Last month, a hit-and-run driver killed Marvis's boyfriend, Myron Lashley. The driver is still out there.
And you deserve to be held accountable for taking his life like that.
Lashley was riding an e-scooter when he was hit on March 9th. The 47-year-old suffered broken bones and needed major surgery. Days after getting released from the hospital and rehab, police say he had a complication and died. Lashley's girlfriend says enough is enough. The driver needs to come forward.
This was senseless. You don't know who you took. This was a businessman. This was a father. This was a son, a brother. This was a person who lived his family. He was loved, and he didn't deserve that.
A police report shows it took Cleveland police 3 days to begin investigating. The case report reveals the server that runs their cameras was down. Cleveland police say these pictures came from the church across the street. Alexander wants justice for her boyfriend of 16 years.
I just want to get justice. I want to get justice, and I also want answers as to why the cameras are not working, because this can happen to anybody. It could have been any kind of crime. Why are the cameras not working?
A happy family of 3, now 2 just trying to get by. Their daughter Malia has significant medical issues that need round-the-clock care, something Myron and Marvis always did together.
He was such a vital part of taking care of our daughter, such a vital part. Every morning we wake up to get her ready for school. We're both loving on her. He's getting her meds done. I'm giving her a bath, getting her clothes on.
Cleveland police say they are actively investigating this and want anyone who knows anything to come forward. We are also waiting for answers from police about why the cameras did not capture the hit and run and why it took police 3 days to begin investigating. Myron's family is holding a community meeting on the cameras here in Tremont on May 8th. In Cleveland, Catherine Huntley, 19 News.